So, good morning everyone. The report I will be discuss for today is all about social studies using graphic organizer. So, graphic organizers provide a visual representation in developing and summarizing student learning components. They help disjointed information by creating patterns that represent the interconnectedness of ideas. So, these facilitate effective learning by enabling the learners to see information in a pattern that uses labels. The main function of graphic organizer is to present information in pieceways to highlight relationship and the organization of concept. So when we say graphic organizer, these are integrate both text and visuals. This has been scientifically proven to be an effective way of teaching and learning. Using them can be extremely useful for both teachers and the student as they will make lessons more engaging as well as easily comprehensible. So a graphic organizer can be used in all grade levels and have proven to be effective learning tools for gift children and student special needs. And with adult learners, graphic organizer can help enable the connection between what they already know and newly acquired knowledge. So, graphic organizers are useful educational tools in any subject area. Um, they help students organize their thoughts and ideas for answering a question or function as pre-writing tools for essay and provide a visual display of information. So, they can be an easy way to differentiate instruction for a variety of learning styles as well. So why we use graphics organize? First, it facilitates critical and creative thinking. Graphic organizers allow the learners to focus only on the highlighted essential components. It enables them to find necessary connection that could unveil answer to problems and issues in daily living. So graphic organizers, it facilitates critical and creative thinking. Verbs are vehicles to help develop student cognitive abilities and provide formats for student to process their thinking about content or about the lesson. So the goal of graphic organizer is to have a student to become independent of graphic organizer yet able to engage in the like high level critical thinking skills, and the organizers are intended to facilitate. So the number 2 is it organize information. The human mind is designed to store information using a series of network. As we live day by day, we encounter various experiences which contribute to what we know. Graphic organizer give us an opportunity to organize and evaluate the existing and new knowledge that we encounter. So, graphic organizer, it can help to organize information. These are a helpful learning tool for students of all ages. Organize, clarify complex information. It can help for students to construct understanding through an exploration of relationship between concepts. Okay, number 3, it shows relationship. One good relationship example that is always used in the broad to specific relationship. It's sometimes called as part-part whole relationship, which identities the number and its components. So, what is graphic organizers that shows relationship? For example, concept map. Concept map are good for organizing information, brainstorming, visualizing ideas, and planning what you want to write. Next one is number 4. It allows self-directed learning. The good thing about graphic organizer is that can be used for independent learning among the learners. This is because it much easier for the learners to grasp information and see connection. So, Kapag self-directed learning, it is learning by oneself or it refers individuals to identify their own learning needs. So, the next one is number 5. It encourages interaction. This form of teaching strategy literally engage the learners to participate in class activities. Since they appreciate its visual nature, the motivation learn come next. So, sinasabi dito na it encourage interaction kasi through form of teaching strategy can literally engage the learners to participate in activities. The last one is number 6. It is a form of assessment. Teacher can assess learning both before and after the discussion. It could be both done in informative and summative assessment. So, kapag sinabi nating formative assessment is to monitor student learning and provide ongoing feedback to staff and student. The goal of summative assessment naman is to evaluate student learning at the end of instructional unit by comparing it against some standard or benchmark. Next, how to use graphic organizers. So, they are often used as part of writing process to help the student map out ideas, plots, characters, details, and setting before beginning to write. Okay, number 1, familiarize yourself with different types of graphic organizer. As a future educator, we need to familiarize the different type of graphic organizers kasi ito yung makakatulong para sa ating mga student to enrich more their understanding. Then number 2, explain to student what graphic organizer and why they are useful in learning. So, kailangan mo ding i-explain sa student mo kung ano ang graphic organizer at kung paano nakakatulong ito sa pag-aaral para ma-expand yung knowledge nila on how graphic organizers can helpful to them as a student. Next one is number 3. Present the specific graphic organizers for a topic, point out subject that organizational framework. So, halimbawa, dapat yung graphic organizer mo is specific to the topic or dapat kapag gumawa ka ng graphic organizer, make sure that is related to your topic. Okay, number 4, use example to illustrate the use of some graphic organizer. Kailangan mo ding mag-include ng some examples through the use of some graphic organizers. Number 5, assign the graphics organizer as an individual, paired, or group activity. Assign graphic organizer as an individual, paired, or group activity. Examples such as writing tasks and etc. Number 6, review student work. Generate classroom discussion on the effective use of graphic organizer. So, graphic organizer are visual charts and tools used to visually represent and organize a student knowledge or ideas. So, these are the 8 types of graphic organizer for social studies. The first is assume and anticipate. This form of graphic organizer is the best for formative assessment where teacher evaluate the schema of the learners on a certain topic. This could be done in form of opinion-seeking activity where the teacher introduce a topic or issue that learners have to answer. As the discussion unfolds, the teacher, the learners return to the answer for validation. So, the purpose is to check prior knowledge and to introduce a topic. Example, chart, ganon. Number 2, position and pattern. This type of graphic organizer help teachers and students see the relationship of the concept with another, particularly in chronological order and how the pattern occurs in different contexts and events. Learners can visualize cause and effect by placing words or pictures in a sequence presented as a chain or timeline. So, the purpose of position and pattern is to know sequence order or cause and effect. Example, timeline or chain. Then, in number 3, group and organize. The Organize help teacher and the student understand that several ideas of parts are related to a single category. This can also show what central concept its corresponding attributes. It can be shown in different shape and forms. So, the purpose of group and organizer is to show type, category, or class classification. Example is the tree chart. Karamihan ginagawa ito sa elementary grade. Then in number 4 naman is compare and contrast. These diagrams are used to identify the similarities and differences between among the concept. It allows the learners to see what characteristics are shared and exclusive to the concept that being compared. So, the purpose of this illustrate the similarities and differences of ideas and concept. Examples is Venn diagram. Ito yung karamihang ginagamit natin para ipakita yung similarities and differences of the concept. And number 5, relate and reason. The idea behind this type of graphic organizer revolves around the use of inductive and deductive thinking patterns. It's shown whether a concept is part of a whole or there's sum total of its part. Inductive thinking mainly share piece of evidence in support big ideas, while deductive evidence for underlying concept or topic. So, the purpose of relate and reason is to show the part whole and whole to part relationship. Example, inductive and deductive. Then last one, number 6, identify and imagine. This organizer uses various shape and form to visually represent several concepts of a piece of information. It allows the student to see connection and analyze relationship among the concept. The most common example of this is the concept map. So, these parts naman is to help student name, describe the brainstorm. Example, concept mapping. And have a number 7 also, estimate and evaluate. This type of organizers show how to evaluate and explain concept through visual perspective. An example is a pie graph, where one can assume that component which has the largest portion in the most frequently used or picked. So, ang estimate and evaluate naman is to show the ways to explain, differentiate, and examine through the various perspective. Example includes shape such as stars and lights bulb. So, this is the final ending. Number 8. Combine and create. Among others, these organizers allow both teacher and the student to construct their own representation. This can be a combination of 2 or more previously mentioned organizers. They give the teachers and student the freedom to choose organizer that will represent what they have in mind. So number 8, the purpose is to give a freedom to express ideas through visualized approach. Example, can incorporate parts of different organizer and create a new one. So, thank you for listening to my report. Kahit it can't explain exhaustively kasi wala si ma'am, kaya pagpasensyahan nyo na po kung ano lang yung nai-explain ko, ay yun lang po yung alam ko. Thank you so much po.